We're testing out Christina's buff today. Now with her skill 3, she does 2 hits instead of just 1. The first hit applies Oblivion, and then the second hit does what it used to do. Test number 1, this could go bad right from the very beginning because Carcano can, well, you know, he can go through invincibility and shields and all kinds of stuff. So this was a team that could have already been used, that is used. The weakness of this team, though, is that most defenses have strips on them. Okay, he didn't get an extra turn. Most defenses have strips on them, so you can't use this against most defenses, but people are using this against Molly and Molong and Dominic teams. So let's go. Rolling Cannon. We are going to do, if it applies, we're going to do Oblivion and then actually kill things. We will see. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Works like a charm. Finally, we can actually use Christina. I know people can complain. You could have used Christina like that before. She wouldn't have done the Oblivion before. But again, this is a team that people use for Siege. I just feel that she should be better than just in one team, though. We're going to test it out against this now. This is similar to what people were using this team in before. Molly is nerfed now, too. So this is kind of an easy win, isn't it? Against a team like this. I mean, as long as you have multiple Christinas, because there's going to be like 300 bases like this. Galleon's working like a champ today. He's like, no, I've decided that I'm going to, because now Molly's passive doesn't apply to everything. So I would love to see Theomar's violent proc enough to kill every single unit. This is not realistic. This is not realistic. Only one extra turn from Dominic. All right. As I'm looking for defenses to hit with this team, I see this one. However, I don't think this was necessarily a great defense before the patch either. There's one damage dealer. And really, you could have just Katarina this before, too. Molly's passive would have still done Molly passive things, but yeah, I don't think that this... Well, the patch still did do. Because we could just Oblivion this. We don't have to worry about Molly glancing because of the skill wording, which I am over. Like I said, attack won't land as a glancing hit, so even with the Molly there, it wouldn't. That's why people were bringing this into Molly teams before the balance patch already. But this is just a food defense. You could argue that this would be a food defense for Katarina and Kabezinov as well. I venture to say, and I know people are going to disagree with me, but this is still bad against most Guild Siege defenses because most Guild Siege defenses have lots of strips and have fire threats. So, Rakan, Carcano, Perna, many things. So this wouldn't be great against every defense. I'm just mostly hitting Dominic and Molly, and Molly's nerfed too, man. Rip Molly. Rip all the people that just got Molly this week. After 9 years of not having her. Or I guess 8 years because she wasn't in here the entire time. But yeah, we don't have to worry about it. I mean, again, even before... Well, we still have to worry about that. But even beforehand, this wouldn't have been... This wouldn't have glanced anyway. And we can just finish her off with attack age decreases, additional damage... We should be good. So you know, if we show enough wins against Molly teams, the Christina fanboys are going to come out and attack and hate. So we have to show it against things like this, because this is the reality of the situation, is that we're not going to be just fighting a whole bunch of, especially nowadays, we're not going to be fighting a whole bunch of Molly defenses. So we're going to be fighting, actually that didn't even strip 2 of the units there, but this is how these things work, is there's just fire threats and strips on defense. Actually, we're in a decent enough spot. We actually could still win. It's weird, but this is not going to... Well, just because it doesn't glance doesn't mean it's not going to... Yeah, we'll do this anyway. So we at least kill... we at least kill that. But that's just... There's so many of these defenses where there's fire threats on defense and strippers on defense that you can't reliably take a team like this into all of these offenses unless it's like not strippers. This is going to be nice here because it can't glance, so we could just Oblivion the Savannah and then do a bunch of big damage after that. And then she's not going to even be oh my good. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, we don't Oblivion Savannah. I think we still go for Savannah, actually. Let's see. Yep, let's go here. We will either Oblivion the... Well, we'll see who we get the defense breaks on. It's always the question. This Dark Archangel can do some strips, though. So we'll see if he strips. We'll see if... Oh, we got lucky. Times a loot. And we can either Oblivion the... Actually, I think we'll just Oblivion... Is this gonna do, let's see. Oh, we got kind of lucky there. And we should be set. I'm curious to see her in RTA and see what she is capable of. But I also don't feel like rooting her and doing 3 hours of RTA. Well, actually, we don't have enough time to do 3 hours of RTA matches, even if we wanted to, because... Not saying we want to. But wait a second, are you saying you don't like RTA? In theory, it's a fun game mode. Okay, so she didn't actually land the Oblivion, the real world situation. Yeah, if the units actually did what it said on their skill descriptions, I think I would enjoy RTA a lot more. Maybe not a lot, maybe just a little bit more, at some degree more. Some degree more. I don't know that Christina is the one that won it though. So of course Banon gets nerfed in the recent balance patch, which is why she's still picked first. And Christina comes out at the end. They have one attack buff, they have one defense break, they ban out the attack power buff, and they ban out the Manon. First picked and also banned as well. So basically the same as before the patch, which you could say about, all right, Rolling Cannon. They go for the Wind Monkey. And doesn't actually kill. They don't have the attack power buff, that's why. And I'm sure she's built a little bit more of a bruiser for RTA, so she wasn't built full damage. We had full damage on the Christina because she had invincibility anyway. So we didn't have to worry about her being tanky enough to... withstand some hits, whereas these people are going to need her to be tanky enough. Same player as before, same exact draft as before. Douglas got it. No, Douglas does not get banned. Well, you know what? They don't have to ban the Douglas. They have that third skill is now, or I guess the fourth skill, because the third skill is technically the passive, isn't it? So can't glance, and also has Oblivion. So goes for Douglas, kills that, because that could have soloed. If it wasn't for that stipulation where it can't glance, that could have soloed the entire thing. So now it's just going to be a long, drawn-out match. Why you need to reset the cooltime on what? Okay. That was a little, okay. Yep. Not quite what I was expecting. All right, GG. So final verdict, definitely a nice buff for her, and she eats those Molly and Dominic and XYZ defenses for lunch. However, I question if we're going to actually be able to use her more, since there's still so many fire threats on defense, fire strippers, fire damage dealers. Carcano just goes through the invincibility, Perna strips, Rakan strips, things like that. So I wonder if, since she's mostly for those certain Molly defenses, and Molly just got a nerf, so more people are going to have better counters to those Molly defenses anyway, that I wonder if Molly defenses just become used less, and then Christina gets used less as a byproduct of that, even though she's better now. Just because there's so many, just because Christina's a better counter, and then there's other things that are better counters to that, just naturally from Molly getting nerfed. So that's my concern, but definitely a welcome buff to have Oblivion on Christina, and we'll try her in Arena Offense in a separate video because I have to re-rune her all for that. So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.